Hello students, welcome to PR Educational Zone. My name is Rahul Gupta and we are also representing the Yogi Divine Institute. So here I am going to conduct your session about the 11th physics, in which I am taking the chapter 2, which is units and measurement. So in chapter 2 here are some basic concepts, okay, in which we are going to learn about the essential topics, in which we are going to learn about the various errors and how the errors are associated with the precision and accuracy. Okay, so first of all, let me understood what is error. So error is nothing but the error is defined as the difference between actual measured value and absolute value. Means the error is defined as the difference between the actual measured value and the absolute value. For example, you have a scale of 10 centimeter and this is your absolute value, okay, and you are measuring in terms of any inch step, okay, so you are getting a result which is measured value, which is 10.01 centimeter, okay, with the help of another. So what is the error? The error is the difference between measured value and the true value, or we can say absolute value. So let's solve it. 10.01 minus 10.0. So we are getting 0.1 centimeter as a error. Okay, as an error. So this is the error. So from this example, the error is defined as the difference between actual measured value and the absolute value. Okay, so in this case, our absolute value is 10 centimeter and the measured value is 10.01 centimeter. So this is how the 0.1 centimeter will be the error in this case. Understood? Fine. So here the error is associated with the two terms. Error is associated with terms which are accuracy and the second one is precision. Okay, accuracy and precision. So in the next session we are going to learn about what is accuracy and what is precision. So the difference between the accuracy and precision will be explained in everything. So first of all, make a table over here which can define the accuracy and precision over here. Clear? So here the accuracy will be there and the second term is precision will be there. So first of all, the definition of accuracy and precision. Okay. So here the first parameter that we are going to discuss. Okay. So parameters definition. Okay. So what is the definition of accuracy? So the definition of accuracy, the level of agreement between actual value to the measured value. Actual value to the measured value. Okay, and in precision, the precision can be defined as it refers the level of agreement which lies between various measurements for the same factor. Okay, now understood the definition. The accuracy, the level of agreement between actual value and the measured value, means the accuracy is defined as the how much deviation will be there in the actual value and measured value. For example, we have this length. Okay, this is a building. So the length of this building is 10 centimeter, and my measured value is showing the length of this building is 9.9 centimeter. So it will showing the how much accuracy will be there. So there will be an accuracy of 9.9 centimeter. 9.9 will be represent the accuracy, means how the value is close to the actual value. Clear? But in case of precision, it refers the level of agreement in which the values lie between various measurements. For example, I am measuring various measurements: 9.87 centimeter, 9.99 centimeter, 9.86 centimeter. So these all are which is repeated in manner, which is repeatedly measuring the same factor, So it refers the level of agreement which lies between various measurements. This various measurement for the same factor. For the same building, these various factors are affected. Understood? Now,
प्रेसिजन में जाता है कि जैसे जैसे पॉइंट बढ़ते हैं ना वैसे वैसे एक्यूरेसी बढ़ती है।
ठीक है, फाइन। नाउ फैक्टर, सो दिस इज शोइंग ऑन एट वंस how the actual value goes to the true value, means this is the, so the accuracy is showing the factor, so it is a one factor agreement. One factor agreement means in this case only one factor is required to measure the value, how the measure value is capable, how the measure value is deviated with the true value, understood? And but the precision is the multiple factor agreement, means in this case what happened, in this case we are measuring various values, okay? So through the various values we are defining our conformity towards the actual value, so this is the multi-factor agreement. Now accuracy will show, it represents how the measured value deviated with true value. Okay, how the measured value is deviated with true value. So the measured value is deviated with the true value with the 0.1 centimeter. But in precision, they are defining how various values are, how the various values are close to each other. Understood? Now it will show the accuracy will show the number of conformity, means it will show conformability. It will show conformability means how the measured value is conform with the actual value, how the measured value is very close to the actual value, but it will show reproducibility by measuring various parameters, first parameter, second parameter and third parameter. So it will produce the reproducibility by which we are going to reach to the actual value. Understood? Fine. So this is showing the error. So the error shown by this is the systematic error, and the error showing by this, it is the random error. It is the example of random error. Understood? Fine. So let's understand this phenomenon by some certain example. So we have a 3 circles are there. Okay, we have another circle and we have the third circle. See, suppose I am pointing arrow over there, all the arrow are here, so this will showing the accurate. So this will showing the accuracy because the value is very close to the actual value, because we are giving this value. But in this case, suppose these points are there, these are the certain measure value, so this is precise but not accurate. Okay, but not accurate. But in the third case, when my all values lie over here, several values are there, so this is precise and accurate. This value is precise and accurate. In this case, what happens? Very small, very little values, very few values are close to the actual values. So this will showing the accuracy of this measurement. But in this case, all the values as per the phenomena, various values are how close to each other. In this case, various values are close to each other. So this will showing the precision. This will showing the precise value, but not showing the actual value of measurement. Fine. And in this case, all the values lie in the same place. So this is accurate as well as this is showing the precise value. Understood? So in our next topic, which is the fundamental dimension, so we are going to learn about how the fundamental dimensions representing a particular physical quantity. Okay, so this is the method to represent any physical quantity. Okay, so as you know that we have two types of quantities. One is basic quantities, or we can say the fundamental quantities, and another is derived quantities, which are derived from the basic quantities. So the fundamental dimension, the use of fundamental dimension, the dimensions are used to represent the dimensions of any physical quantity. fundamental dimensions are used to define the dimensions of any physical quantity. So in this chapter, in your 11th syllabus, we are going to learn about the only three fundamental dimensions, which are continuously M, L and T, where M is representing mass, okay, L is representing the length, width, height, okay, etc, and the T is representing the time elapsed, okay, the time elapsed in second. Clear? So here three fundamental dimensions. These are the three basic fundamental dimensions which are included in the other physical quantity. So due to help of this fundamental dimension, we are going to represent any of physical quantities. So any of physical quantities which are represented by a basic dimensions, those are called fundamental dimensions. Now, how to represent the quantities for the fundamental dimension? We have an example for that. Fine. So as you know that the acceleration is defined as rate of change of velocity upon time. Fine. So the acceleration is defined as velocity upon time. Here the dimension for the velocity is meter per second and the dimension for time is second. So after multiplying the meter per second and second, so we are getting the meter per second square. So the dimensions for acceleration is meter per second square. Okay, this is the particular dimension for this derived quantity. Fine. So how to represent this physical quantity in terms of fundamental dimension? So as I already told you, in place of mass you have to put mass capital M, in place of length, width and height you have to put L over there, and in place of time you have to put time over there. Clear? So take the dimension from this figure. Okay, so acceleration is indicated by meter per second square, where meter is representing length, and meter having the power of 1, so this will be represented by only length power 1, and the time, this is representing second, which is representing time, and time having power 2, so that will be represented by time having power 2. So after solving all this, so we are getting L1 and T2. So after solving this, we are getting L1 T minus 2. Okay. So this is the fundamental dimension for acceleration. But in general terms, when we have to include all these three parameters, so we are including M as well also, but with the power of 0. Because you know that when any quantity having power 0, the value is 1. Fine. So finally this will be represented by the M0, L1 and T minus 2. So this is the fundamental for dimensions for acceleration. Understood? So what are the fundamental dimensions? The dimension which are helps to represent any of physical quantities. Those are called fundamental dimensions. Okay. So in this topic we are going to learn about the dimension homogeneity. Means the dimension homogeneity is refers to check whether the dimension in the both the side of formula are right or not. For example, the formula for the force is given by M into A, means the dimensions, the MLT formula for this, MLT formula for force and the MLT formula for both the quantities must be equal. Okay, if the right hand side MLT formula and the left hand side formula are not equal, so we are say that the equations are not dimensionally consistent. Okay, so to check the equation is dimensionally consistent or not, we are checking the dimensional homogeneity for the both the side. Okay, so there is a method how to check dimensional homogeneity. For example, this is given M equal to M. Okay, so you have to put this as a left hand side and mark the MLT formula for the force, and second you have to take this, which will be RHS, and mark the MLT formula for this both the multiplication quantity. Or after confirming that whether the LHS is equal to RHS, then and only the equation is dimensionally consistent or the equation is dimensionally homogeneous. Okay. So to understand this phenomenon, let an example. Okay, fine. So I am taking an example. So as we know that the energy is given by whether it is the potential energy or whether it is the kinetic energy. Means the energy This is the potential energy and the kinetic energy. Clear? So this energy equation is homogeneous or not? So to verify, we have to take these two parameters. So after taking these two parameters, the equation is like mgh m equal to half of mv square. So this is our left hand side. Solve the left hand side over here. So left hand side there are three parameters m, g and h. Whether m is representing mass. So I already told you the mass is represented by capital M's power. So here power at m is 1 only. So we are representing capital M over here. Power 1. And the second, which is the gravitational acceleration. The unit of gravitational acceleration is meter per second square. So as per the meter per second square, the fundamental dimension for that formula is L1 T minus 2. And this is the height. I already told you whether the height, length, breadth, distance is given. So you have to take MLT as a L power 1. So L power 1. So after solving, all the bases are equal. Fine. So here M is only available. So M1 will be there. Here L1 and L1. So this will be L1 plus 1. Here T minus 2 is our own parameter. So T minus 2. So the final answer is M1, L2 and T minus 2. This is our answer of left hand side. Now to check the dimensional homogeneity of this equation, we have to check left hand side, right hand side also. So in this is the right hand side. So right hand side the parameters are half of mv square. Where half is a constant value, so do not include the half over here. So for the m is again representing the mass. Okay. So for the mass the quantity is m power 1. For the velocity, the unit of velocity is what? Meter per second. So as per the meter per second, we are getting a power of L1 T minus 1 raised to 2 because the square is left here. Okay. So after solving, so this will be as it is M1 and this 2 power is multiplied with the other powers. Okay. So we are getting this L2 T minus 2. So after joining all the parameters together because they are in multiplication, so we are getting M1 L2 T minus 2. So here, this will be our right hand side and this will be our left hand side. We can see that, clearly see that the right hand side is equal to left hand side. Here, the left hand side is equal to right hand side. So due to this condition, we can say that these two equations of energy are homogeneous to each other. Means this formula is valid. So to check the validity, of formula, this operation will be performed. Okay, so this operation is carried out on the left hand side as well as the right hand side to confirm if the both sides of quantities the fundamental dimensions are equal or not. Okay, so if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe the PR Educational Zone and share with your friends to get the maximum benefit of education. Thank you.